Well, hello there, Rudolph. Seems like you've actually decided to give up on your candidacy. Good on you, pal. Hello there, friends, and welcome back to more Metaphori Fantazio. Last time, we took down Loveless, who seemed to have a bit of a misunderstanding in terms of what we were actually basing our candidacy off of, because Milo told him that we were going around and killing a bunch of Ujif and Parapus. Obviously, that's not the truth. And so we had to fix that misconception. Alongside that, we also did some more follower ranks, and we're slowly starting to fill this out a little bit more. We've only got a few more followers left to rank up. Today we're going to be starting here in Altabury, as you can see, because we have another quest that we need to turn in. Have you brought me my durable spider silk by any chance? Make something warm, please. Hand it over to the durable spider silk. Thank you so much. Now I can get back to work and keep people safe from this cold. You've really been an enormous help. I've got your reward right here, so take it. There's a little extra on the side. Call it a token of my thanks. I've been hearing all about the good work you're doing elsewhere, too. Thank you, sir.
Mission accomplished.
There we go. For those who are probably wondering why I accepted a lot of these Altabury quests, but didn't actually continue them until we had gotten the Prince archetype, hopefully the way that I have been ordering things has been making sense now, because we could complete the Smallville quest on the way to the Abandoned Path, which is a post-Prince storyline. We can also do Loveless and stuff there. It was just trying to take care of multiple objectives at once. The rumors said you were a good-natured prince, one who can't abandon anyone in need. Now, I suppose I've seen for myself that's true. Make sure everyone knows. Just leave this to me. I'll make sure anyone who buys a blanket knows His Highness was responsible for it. Not bad. Some cozy armor and a true blue supporter. Guess helping the needy pays off, huh?
That's a relief.
Keep helping people stay warm and spreading the good word about Will, alright? Of course, you can count on me. Hey, there we go. We love having more supporters. Also, over here with Loveless. Hey, still looking my wound from that ass whooping you gave me the other day. Damn, you're strong. Guess I should have expected it, seeing you's a prince and all. Milo's trick or not, it was wrong of me to try and sabotage you. So if you do this for me, I'll drop out of the tournament. On me honor. It hit me like a ton of bricks. All the changes I wanted to see in the world. It's you lot who's gone and really thought it through. All those wankers out there trying to drag people down just because of the tribe. You don't fall in with those bastards. I mean, look at the company you keep. Got me thinking, you'd be a better king than I ever could. So you go after Milo and anyone like him and hand them all of their own sorry asses. In fact, it's personal now. Milo pulled the wool over my eyes, and I can't let that stand. You mind knocking his teeth out? As a personal favor?
Isn't that...
Say, didn't we see him sulking around Altabury? I bet he was hatching another scheme. Wouldn't surprise me. If I went, that sack of shite would just confuse me again. Words can tell you what this means to me. So I'll swing the pot for you. Oh yeah, I'll do it. Hell yeah! I won't forget this favor. Swear on my life I won't.
all good?
I agree. We shouldn't leave Milo to his own devices. It's probably better that you do this. I tore the town up to find him, and it seems he hangs out in front of the recruitment center in Nonlumo. Dodgy bastard. But he's your dodgy bastard now.
Give it a
Alright, so we're going to be dealing with Milo today. And also we're going to be heading over to Mount Vulkano to try and take care of some business. So, first things first, let's go ahead and see if we can't piss off Milo, shall we? Man, we aren't even very close to the recruitment center, and you can very clearly see Milo just kind of standing around. Alright, well, let's go confront him. Aren't you? Will, if you're here, does that mean Loveless is dead?
No.
No, but we did have him resign from the tournament, and he told us all about how you pulled the wool over his eyes. Oh yes, the prince's imposters plotting to massacre the Parapus. Honestly, don't you think his naivete deserves some of the blame? Besides, that's arguably more proof that you lack popularity and credibility. You are an imposter, after all. A far cry from my divine beauty. Oh, come off it. Is this worth getting heated over? Or perhaps you're raring for a duel to square things, right here, right now? I would advise against it. You might recall we're in the middle of the city. Moreover, I'd rather the citizenry didn't see me stained in your blood. If it weren't for that, I'd put an end to your sorry lives right where you stand. How about a little gratitude? Oh, up yours! Mark my words, you're gonna get what's coming to you. My, so crass. You must excuse me, but I'm too busy to trade bobs with primates. I'm making my long-awaited return to the royal capital to charm the citizens to my side. Still plenty of time to make up for lost ground on the King's Rock. And don't get any ideas about tailing me, all right? You're fortunate to be alive. Do yourself a favor and be more prudent. You don't give the orders around here, okay? Besides, now we know where you're headed. Yes, we do. Right over there. Said he was gonna go to the royal capital. So, around here.
There's a runner.
That is a runner. Are you so desperate for me to kill you? Then by all means, throw down the gauntlet and make it official. If you win, which you won't, I'll give you equipment that has a special effect. One-of-a-kind bespoke piece. Look at yourself. Swallowed the bait and now you wish to squirm. Give chase then, and perhaps you can at least die beautifully. Milo walked off. That pretentious, stuck-up little... He has been a thorn in our side for long enough. I think it's time we settled the score. I think so too. However, because I am a benevolent prince, I'm gonna give Milo a bit of a running start. He has a long way to go from Altabury to Grand Trad, so I think we're going to take a little bit of a detour and start today in Mount Vulkano. I don't know if we'll actually get time to deal with Milo today, but we'll see what happens. Either way, Mount Vulkano is our focus for today. We have two quests there. The Wayward Shepherd for Yufa, and the Edge of Glory for that wandering swordsman merchant guy in Grand Trad who wants to see if he can't find the legendary sword here.
You do have a request there.
We simply cannot let Hyperic continue like this. Everyone, please, lend me your strength. Aye, leave it to me. We'll put a stop to that fool Sanctor.
I should very much
Thank you
like
very
to go
much.
there.
Will, everyone, let us finish this. By the way, I think we could have gotten some more information about this place from the Altabury informant. But if you don't need it, then let's go. We don't, trust me, we don't at all. We'll be fine. I will say though, because it's a volcano, ice moves are gonna be pretty useful here. I'll just tell you that right now. And to settled, it behove us to prepare ourselves, even whilst on the road. We are not on the road, Hulkenberg, but I get what you're saying.
What to pick?
Now, we have Basilio, who is ringing in our head, so probably you should hang out with him. But of course, first things first, always check the pantry, always see if you can't make some food, which I'm sure I can. Let's see what's on the menu for today. We've got one more thing to make, the adamantine honey cake. A baked sweet that resists the elements and stores well. Erects a barrier that nullifies one fire, ice, electric, wind, light, or dark attack. Let's make it. It requires 1 Altabury wheat flour, 1 Queen's honey jar, which is those really rare items I've mentioned before, and 2 Orgo sugars. We're just gonna make 1 of these. Believe it or not, this is Basilio's specialty. I'll go get him. Wait here. Good, just the man I wanted to talk to.
Hey.
I gotta admit, this kitchen's proper stacked with the tools of the trade. When it comes to making sweets, you can't compromise on the kitchen, and you got pretty picky about your utensils. Don't overthink it though. We're gonna be able to get some top shelf sweets going in here. Get ready to bake like you mean it. Yes, yes! First, you gotta mix all the ingredients up real good. Put some more power in it, yeah? Started preparing the food with Basilio.
Right then.
Nice. So far, so good. It smells wafting up in here. I'll never get enough of that. The heat makes a big difference on the end result. You gotta watch it real close, like, this battle ain't over yet. Did we go a little long on it? Ah! Bet it'll make it even better, like. Wow, we made a decadent treat that smells just as sweet. Hey, that rhymed, Basilio. Check this out, adamantine honey cake. So, how do you feel? Bet you got the baker's itch now, eh? I've always had it, my friend. Of course, we cooked time without passing. Got 2 adamantine honey cakes. And a sublime spoonful recipe, our final recipe for the game. But you can only obtain after you have made 1 of each dish in the runner. You have to have made it in the runner. Very, very important to note that. Okay, so we've got a few opportunities here, but because Basilio is available, let's go ahead and talk to him. On a shopping trip, Basilio is delighted to see Vinka, an old friend from his facility days. But the streets are abuzz with rumors of murder. But Well, let's go talk to Basilio, see if we can clear any of his worries, or maybe he just needs a buddy.
Sam.
Did you see in the sky? Proper weird looking. But scrambling around will do us no good. Even the easy things will just go to rot. Just gotta take it slow and do what we can for now. Ah, yeah, you feeling hungry? Yes, yes. Wanted to thank you for coming along on my errand last time, yeah? So I figured I could cook you something. I'm starving. Fantastic. Well, table for one right this way. Good, innit? Let's my try a 3-nut egg drop soup and honey glazed poison cocasados chicken. Food's really great, actually. What's the matter? Lost your appetite? Oh, the poison. Nah, no worries, mate. Salt's cured, yeah? I got all the actual toxins out. Endangered or anything. Yeah, that's good at least. Okay, well, good time then. It's got a salty, sweet glaze and leaves the tongue tingling for more.
Yeah?
See? Good, eh?
Yeah.
More, please. You're only one bite in, you want more. I guess you really are keen on it. Truth is, it wasn't long ago I couldn't cook a thing. After the igniter experiments, my sense of taste got loads sharper. I couldn't eat much unless it tasted really nice, so I sort of picked up cooking to fend for myself.
Right.
Oh, right. Got an after-dinner treat here, too.
Yeah.
So here we got baked fruit sweets, right? Along with some Alento tea. The tea's bitter stuff, so I preserve the tea leaves and sugar. Gentle scent calms the heart.
I mean...
Alento's one of them what you call sedative herbs. I drink it myself on nights when the pain gets loud. What about those medicinal herbs we got?
Well...
I gave those for when's the pain's worst as it ever gets. Got to make my supply last, seeing as it's so hard to come by.
Oh, right.
Reminds me, I never did get to telling you about those old wounds. Me and Del, we grew up in the slums. I call them slums. More just a trash dump. No parents or anything, so every day was pretty miserable. I went to enlist, hoping we could afford to eat that way. They told me I was too young, but I got invited to be part of some igniter development facility. Told me I'd be helping them test igniters before the soldiers got them. But they left out the part about testing them on us. We lived or died didn't matter. Finka was there too. You know, my mate who split his herbs with us. At the facility, you got room, board, and a bit of coin. Slave wages. But if the igniters went unstable on you or you stopped being useful, that's it. You're done. So no matter what they threw at us, or how bad we hurt, we took it all. We had to. Sounds like you two made the right choice in running away.
Yeah.
In hindsight, sure. Took us ages to commit to breaking out, though. Dawn to dusk, all we had was pain. Death was always one faulty igniter away. Looking back, we'd never have gotten through it without our Del. The experiments got worse, and I started losing friends to him, one by one. Ended up at death's door myself. That's when Del had enough, and broke us out. Del was in rough shape himself, but he carried me, ran with me all the way to a church. That's where we met Lady Rilla. She told me, "What's shit like now? It's not all there is. If you keep living, the world will surely change." Feels like I finally got what she meant. I got to treat you to a nice meal. I got to meet Vinka again. Would have had those chances if I'd given up. And now giving up's the last thing on my mind. Hell, I've got some actual hope. You might just be able to build the world Del and I dreamt of. I can sense Basilio's determination to live and his deep trust in me.
Me and Del didn't live well.
You're gonna live for both you and Del, and we're going to make sure the future is a bright one. For rank 3, we get Science Skill 2, which will give us 2 inheritance slots for the Berserker, Classic, and Battle Aura, which will increase the amount of XP Basilio gets while in reserve. Again, as I've mentioned before, Basilio's essentially going to be a mainstay due to the fact that he's much lower level than everyone else, and he's also joining us so late, so this won't be super helpful. But it is useful. That's why Del stopped growing, you know? Side effects of the experiments and all. By the look of him, Vinka got the opposite. Might be a little grayer, but he's actually not aged all that much, you know? In any case, seems like he's doing well. I can be glad for that, at least.
Sure.
Let's visit him again sometime, alright?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bound to have fixed his sleeping posture by then, at least. Though, hold on. Wait. You don't mean he was lying about his sleeping wrong? He was, wasn't he? You can't even sleep wrong on your chest anyway, right? Nope. Damn it! Can't believe he slipped it past me. And I bought it without a second look. I've got to ask Vinka what the hell's going on.
Sorry.
But we probably won't be able to make it today. Take me to Bridlehaven when you can. You gotta. Don't worry, I'll put it on my list.
Far to the north of Altabury, Mount Vulkano rises through the molten ash of its own making. Magla crystals are swallowed by the lava, and a malevolent heat scorches the air. Conditions only hideous monsters could find alluring. Or perhaps the monsters are not the only ones. Defying reason, the party descends into the maw of the pyre.
This is the place.
Here we are. This is where we will find Hyperic. My thoughts are filled with concern for those that were brought here. Will you join me in my search? Of course.
Thank you very much.
You have my sincerest thanks. Where are they? Let us proceed with care and caution so that we miss no clues. Sounds good. Everyone, I welcome you to Mount Vulkano, which actually should be Volcano. I mean, it was right there, guys. It was right there. It's Volcano. You're almost there. Anyways, we have one of Nurse's relics. And as you can see, Katharina has joined us because, again, this is a dungeon that is around Altabury, so we're pretty good here. I heard you lot was coming. I rushed you right away. Just couldn't keep still. This place is like my back garden, you know? Don't be afraid to rely on me, okay? Well, bam! We always love having Katharina with us. Now, as I mentioned before, this dungeon has a bunch of enemies that are definitely going to be weak to ice, as you could probably tell. Alright, Devil Summoner can summon apparent gods called demons. The range of vessels collected allows it to counter all kinds of threats.
I see.
Now, obviously we start with Summon Fairy. This is a very interesting looking archetype in my personal opinion. I like the horns on the other end and the moving eyeballs. It's a little weird, a little creepy, but I like it a lot. We have Summon Fairy, which is nice. Deals medium magic ice damage to all enemies. And we also have new synthesis skills. Also, she shares Hadean Ice Crag with Will, which is pretty nice. Summon Kinshin, 2/4 medium magic electric damage to one enemy. Summon Deity, extreme light magic damage to all enemies with a chance to inflict daze. Summon Fury, extreme magic strike damage to all enemies and will decrease their attack and defense for 3 turns. And summon Tyrant, severe magic almighty damage to all enemies and may also inflict haste. Pretty good stuff. Let's go ahead and study this. Wonderful, so this is the Devil Summoner archetype. The gift of the people's faith in me. I shall not fail them. As I've mentioned before, the Devil Summoner name is another reference to some of Alice's products called, well, Devil Summoner. So, there we go. Now we've got the Devil Summoner. Very similar to, well, the other Summoner. The Devil Summoner prides itself on working with talismans to actually create their abilities. So let's go back into Academia and see if we can't make any more of these. Trust me, this won't take too long. We now have a lot of new vessels that we can make that are exclusive to the Devil Summoner. Obviously, some of these are pretty useful. I'm going to be grabbing a few key ones for sure. First things first, I'm going to be grabbing the Black Frost Vessel, a vessel for elite summoners to call upon Night. Night uses multi-target ice magic and inflicts frostbite. Again, as I said, ice damage is going to be pretty useful here. Let's go ahead and utilize this. Obviously, we have Hadean Ice Crag in our synthesis skills, but I don't want to have to use 2 people's MP constantly in order to do AoE ice magic damage. So, we're going to be taking this. Also, I like Black Frost a lot, one of my favorite demons in the Mega 10 franchise. So, of course, I'm going to be taking that. Thank you very much, Black Frost. I'm also going to grab the Lotus Flower Vessel, a vessel for elite summoners to call upon Megami. Megami uses magic that fully restores an ally's health. This can be a good support button. And the last one that we're going to grab for right now is Buzzing Fly Vessel, which requires 1 Talisman of the Divine and 1 of the Foul. A vessel for elite summoners to call upon Tyrant. Tyrant uses powerful multi-target almighty magic and inflicts Hex. This is another situation where the action is pretty good, and also I just really like the demon. This being, of course, drumroll please, good old Beelzebub. Another of my favorite Mega 10 demon designs. Obviously, we have enough to make probably a few more of these vessels, but I'm not going to worry about that. We've got our actions for the Devil Summoner. We're doing pretty good for ourselves.
Oh.
The one thing I will say about the Devil Summoner is that this is an archetype that, while I want to show it off right now, I do genuinely think, very similar to the Swordmaster, I vastly prefer the previous incarnation of it than I do its current form. I think the summoner, the base summoner, has a lot more utility that can be better used. Essentially, the summoner can act as a trickster without needing to actually just fully focus on debuffs. You can do damage as well, which I really like a lot. And the Devil Summoner forgoes a lot of the utility of the summoner for a higher damage output and ailment attacks, which is fine, but it's definitely not one I like too much. However, we're going to give it a little bit of time to shine because, well, I mean, it's an archetype that we need to use in order to get her royal archetype anyway, so might as well start working on it now. Either way, for everyone else, I'm going to make a quick adjustment for June to make sure she has the right thing on. She's Utilitarian's Manual on. She'll be fine. Blizzaton is what we really, really want. And if worse comes to worse, we can always do a synthesis skill to allow Will to do his crazy damage. Alright, let's go in. This dungeon isn't too terribly long. I mean, as we have seen many times now with side quest dungeons, they range from being pretty short to moderately long in length, and this is definitely on the shorter end in my personal opinion. However, it is one of those maze dungeons where the corridors are very small and you just have to keep in mind about how things all kind of move together. Ow! Just going to heal myself up there. I will go ahead and mention right now that we are seeing that there are a lot of teleporting enemies again, this is a terrible dungeon to farm money in. If that is something you're interested in doing right now, there is a dungeon coming up later, trust me, that will be pretty valuable for money farming and for our Hero's Leaf of Light farming, if that's something you're interested in doing as well. And we will be doing it before we go to the Skybound Avatar, of course. So don't worry, our farming opportunity will be coming up shortly. It's just not going to be right now. Now we are forced to go this way, but we have two options. We can either go further down or we can take the ladder. Let's take the ladder, why not? Let's take the ladder. Also, I want to say that the Wind God's Gale here, the weapon we have on the Prince, this is one of my favorite looking weapons in the entire game. It's honestly pretty tame in its total design, but it's just very sleek, and I like the green and white color patterns. It's one of my favorite weapons. That's a ladder down. We want to take this part over, and we have a gold beetle, which is just kind of in this little corridor area. I don't really know how well to explain it. Oh well, I'll figure it out. So we have two more like little potholes we can jump down into, or we can go take this chest, which is not a mimic, but it is the item that we're going to need for Nuris, the Stitched Sphere. Good to know. What's this little pebble? It's glowing from the inside. Never seen a gemstone quite like this. Can't imagine it'll be any use to us. Guess I'll just leave it here then. Wait, hang on. You know, now that I think about it, could this be one of those relics that Nuris mentioned? Can't be sure, but let's show it to him anyway. Sounds good. Okay, so now we have two little pitfalls. Let's take the first one. This puts us back near the entrance. Oh, well, I guess I already ran past it. Whoops. My sense of direction is definitely great. Let's go check out that other pitfall just as a way of completing everything. Let's just go check out the other pitfall, make sure we're not missing anything. I doubt it, but it'd be pretty good. Pretty good to do this anyways. Jump down, and you can see that we are now still back on the first floor. It's just kind of a time waster, unfortunately. Alright, well, let's now go further down. That Specto is just going to teleport and be the bane of my existence. Easily my least favorite enemy type in the game, for sure. Ah! There we go. That and those damn fishies back in Martyra that were in Homo Batera's belly and in the Triganticassa sewers. Oh, I hate those guys. Either way, we're level 58 on Will. Again, you have to keep in mind to go to Will in order to check his stuff, because you'll always get more allocated stats. Put some more into magic. We are almost done putting our stuff into magic. As you can see, we have 75 magic. 99 is the stat cap in this game, and if you were to keep pushing your stats above 99, nothing would happen. So you just need to be hitting 99, and we're getting close to that, and we'll be getting gear and whatnot that will help boost your stats even further. So yeah, we're gonna be allocating a little bit more stuff into magic. And again, our entire set is built around magic, so we're okay. And again, Royal Sword is boosted by it, so we are okay to keep doing what we're doing. Go ahead and deal with you, grab this treasure chest, and it's a rare one too. We got ourselves Beast Killer's Wrath. 390 damage, and will increase damage against beast-type monsters. Again, that is the majority of monsters in this game, so that's not bad. It is weaker than the Burning Axe, but we have the Flame Kiss Axe, which I believe I got somewhere. Flame Kiss Axe is 408 attack power, however your attacks become fire, your normal attacks become fire affinity. So you'll need to keep that in mind. Let's go and put that on him since we have it. Ooh, yeah, look at that. That's a good looking axe. There we go. Okay. I'm sure someone in the comments was screaming at someone who was watching this video probably was screaming at me for not putting on the Flame Kiss Axe, especially if I got that a long time ago. But yeah, that's just how the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. Hey, Katharina, come in, do some good damage. Thank you, Katharina. Now, these enemies are weak to light and electric. Let's just pass over to Will's turn then, I think, because we can take advantage of Radiance and kill all of these guys in one hit. Probably, at least. Don't make me a liar. Thank you. Okay. Smooth finish. Great work, everyone. More corrosive acids. Thank you. I love corrosive acids. Are you a mimic? No, you are not. You're another rare chest. You've got the Jester's Daggers. Actually, hang on. I do want to look at those because they had a good description. I almost mashed through them. Jester's Daggers. Increases the strength of the synthesis skills that cost 0 MP. Very similar to the Faker Daggers we saw back in Virga Island. I guess I can go ahead and talk about this. So, the Faker archetype lineage. I think I've used it once in this entire series so far. And that's both by choice, like I am well aware that I have neglected that archetype lineage, but it is for a pretty clear reason. As you've seen throughout this playthrough, we've had a vast surplus of consumable items that fill the role that the Faker would do as a debuffer pretty well, or we've had access to archetypes that can essentially just do the debuffs that the Fakers can, while also providing some kind of extra effect, whether it be an attack or an ailment of some kind. I like the Faker lineage. I remember saying that I like the Faker lineage. I do like the Faker lineage because I enjoy the fact that they have some crazy debuffs. And some of their actions are going to be very important to get later on. But I just don't like using the Faker lineage in fights. I really don't. And I just also feel like a lot of their actions are just kind of not worth investing in for even inheritance skills. So I just don't. I just don't, because I don't see really a good reason to invest in that archetype lineage in the way that I have been presenting and playing the game. Now, one critique I have of this video game in general, and I'm sure I will I've talked about this before and I will talk about it again, I can almost guarantee, is this game's archetype leveling gap is way too wide, in my opinion. I think it takes too long to level up archetypes in this game. I do, genuinely speaking. This is a job system game that encourages you to mix and match, but I do think that it's just not generous enough with AEXP. For example, ooh, we got a frostbite right there. For example, let's take the elite archetypes, for example. You get access to elite archetypes about halfway through the game, yet they're incredibly expensive and require a lot of other archetypes to be leveled up in order for them to actually be, well, worth a damn unlocking and using. And they take a long time for their skills to be unlocked. It's just kind of an exhaustive process. And I don't blame anyone for sticking with just a few core archetypes on each character, hell, just a few core lineages, and just calling it a day. It feels like grinding is essentially a necessity if you are interested in engaging in the game's systems, and I just don't think that should be the case. It's something that, if people have watched my channel before, I built my Bravely Default series, both Bravely Default 1 and Bravely Default 2, around the idea that you needed to do minimal grinding, and I was able to showcase a vast majority of that game's systems in a single playthrough. Yes, I knew what I was doing, I knew how everything kind of worked together, but it still was something that could be easily replicated. In this game, if you aren't just kind of sticking to a few clicks, you're probably going to be stuck with grinding for an unnecessarily large amount of time. And trust me, I will be showcasing how to do that whenever we get to it. I've already alluded to it many times. Hi, Editor Jaders here for a moment. I wanted to go ahead and present a sort of counter-argument to my points here that I've been making throughout the past few minutes of this video. So, I mentioned that regarding grinding in Metaphor, that it's difficult to really have a team that has a lot of expression and diversity, and that you essentially need to have each party member stick in their own little cliques or within a few certain archetype lineages. I assume that is probably fully intentional, especially since if we are comparing the Bravely franchise or other Final Fantasy job system franchises to Metaphor, those games usually have 4 characters with 30 plus jobs. Metaphor has 7 characters with 45 archetypes. However, the lineages all work very similar to one another, and if you were to account for all 7 of your main characters, you can cover all of the main archetype lineages pretty well. So there's more diversity in terms of player characters, and you focusing on a certain archetype being on a certain character. If you want a thief, you play as Hyzme. If you want a mage, you play as Juna. And Juna is really good at magic stuff. Hyzme is really good at things like the thief lineage or the gunner lineage. But it's still something that's, in my head, I feel like Metaphor could have benefited a little bit more from easing the road to being able to unlock multiple archetypes on other characters. But that's just my rambling as I'm editing this and trying to find ways to counteract my argument. But, you know, it's worth talking about.
Right there.
But it is a critique I have of this game. It's just tough to encourage, well, it's tough to showcase and give equal light to all of the archetypes in this game in one playthrough because of its limited calendar nature and the fact that it's just hard to level up archetypes in this game. Well, not hard, it's just longer than it should be. Even if you have an entire squad dedicated to giving you Heroes Leave of Lights like I have, and how I've highly recommended you to do so, it's still an exhaustive process. And one that I definitely am not too big of a fan of. I like all of the archetypes in the game, generally speaking. I just wish that I had more reason to use a lot of them, and I wish I did, it's incredibly expensive to even unlock them. So you have to weigh the option of, oh, is it even worth investing my resources to working on this archetype, or should I just either off-screen it or figure out an alternative to making this archetype work? And so far, I have usually picked the latter, and the Faker is just kind of a victim of that system where I can basically provide my team with debuffs in other ways, just not through the Faker's actions. So, I just wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way. It's something that I've been thinking about, and I know I've mentioned it a few times before, but I want to go ahead and talk about it again. Now, something I do want to showcase here, other than Katharina just being an absolute goddess, we're going to do Blizzaton against this guy, and then I want to showcase the Summon Knight. Deals heavy magic ice damage to all enemies and Gorg's resistances, may inflict frostbites. That's my boy Black Frost! Hee-ho, hee-ho, hee indeed. Unfortunately, we didn't get any crazy damage out. That's okay. We can just do Royal Sword and kill this man. Cool. I do need to chug some pills on Will, though. Radiance is definitely eating into his MP reserves. A pretty good situation, maybe, to have some of Soul Hacker's actions that can give you some MP refunds. I do like that. I just haven't used the mag that I have to purchase those just yet. Let me find myself some Magla potions. Actually, no. We'll just do Magla pills. There we go. That's what they're there for anyways. Okay, we've kind of cleared out the perimeter of this area, so let's go ahead. We want to go into the middle room here. Because as we can see, there's an item that we can get if we were to go up this ladder. So let's do that. Should be a blue item, blue orb of some kind. Yes, right there. Okay. Talisman of the War God. If we go up again, we arrive back at one of the earlier stages of the map, and we can open up a wall, which is pretty good. Let's do that. Okay. And then from here, we've already cleared out this floor, so we can go back down and head towards that southern entrance. Okay. Down we go. Thankfully, going down ladders is way faster than going up them. I think that's pretty much true in all contexts. Unless you're scaredy cat like me and does not want to do the sliding animation. Sure, it's actually not that bad. Alright, so new room, new me. Which means I'm going to kill all these guys. There we go. We should be getting pretty close to being able to kill these guys without needing much aid. Nice, 500 damage. I might... Persona Master! Gotta love that these actors got their chance to scream Persona! Despite the fact this is not a Persona game. Let's go and pass turn over to Yufa, and we'll just do Summon Fairy. Standard Jack Frost, and then I don't think Radiance is necessary here. We can do Royal Slash and kill this guy, probably. Yeah, no problem. Actually, thinking on it, let's go ahead and talk about Katharina a little bit. I've mentioned this before very briefly, and I guess I might as well just go ahead and go full into it. Ooh, Strength and Agility for Stroll. Nice. Katharina is one of the first characters we saw in a lot of the promotional material for Meta for Fantazio. It was pretty clear that she was going to be an important either social link character or party member. Now, I was a little sad to know that she was not going to be a party member. It was pretty clear to me that she was not actually going to be one. After some of the promotional material for the game continued to release, and we started seeing less and less of her in kind of the main character position, I guess. However, it was a situation where I was like, okay, it's very clearly that she is kind of her and Maria were sort of the faces for the Bond system of the game. Okay, she's going to be a candidate that is also vying for the throne. She's not going to be a part of our competition. That's perfectly okay. She'll probably be an interesting character regardless. Am I a little sad that she's not a main character? I kind of am. I do kind of wish she was maybe a temporary party member. So I kind of wish that we at least got an attempt at that here, and maybe Katharina joins us for the regular Grand Cathedral. Ooh, she died. That's unfortunate. Anyways, we run. I got a little greedy on the attacks there. That's my fault. That's my fault.
What now?
I was too busy talking about Katharina. Let me get you up, Juna. I got you. I got you. There is my heals. I think I'm also going to go ahead and equip these finisher noodles. That way I can just one-shot all of these guys in the overworld. There we go. That way I'm not getting messed with again. Essentially, yeah, I kind of would have enjoyed if Katharina was potentially a temporary party member for the Grand Cathedral, or I don't know. I feel like the Grand Cathedral would have been a good place to put her, but maybe that's just me. Either way, I am not heartbroken that she isn't a main character. I think the way that she's put into the story is perfectly fine. And I think Basilio fits well enough as our platypus representative for the game in our team pretty well, especially since he has a much closer connection to Luis, who is, of course, our big bad. And so I think he fits just fine as our fill-in. Oh, wonderful. We've got a terrible combination of a Manjula and our Elementa. Let's go ahead and deal with this first. I'm just going to mash triangle and get into this combat situation. Katharina, do most of the damage for me. Thank you very much, dearie. Obviously, this thing's weak to light. I'm going to hopefully just kill it normally. Honestly, maybe I just kill with my regular attack? Nope. Okay, well, definitely Slam Strike, right? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Alright, 6,000 mag, 6,000 money, no problem whatsoever. Give me all that, thank you. Alright, now I gotta deal with the Manjula. Give me a second. Alright, what's the treasure chest these two bastards were hiding? Let's see, it's Ancient God's Lava Blade. That's a mouthful. The blade smolders with the power of an ancient god. Weapon is fire affinity, and it'll also give you strength +3. Not bad for a warrior weapon. Not bad at all. Also, there's Plateau right there being a good kitty as always. Let's see if we can't meet up with him. I think we will need to go... Yeah, okay. So I think we have to just go across the room essentially. And we'll hit that eastern... Actually, no. I think it will need to be this more southern one, right? Yeah. Okay, it would be this southern ladder, as that one has the arrow going down. And if we check the map with the layers, it showcases we need to go down. So, there we go. And now we're on the other side. As a double check, let's just make sure we got all the loot. We are actually missing one segment of the map. So let's actually go back and check that out. Okay, so, if you are curious, there is an item right here, this little blue orb item that I mentioned in this room where there's these two ladders. Of course, there's a little crevice here that I obviously forgot about. Whoopsies, that's on me. But now we have it. So now we have access to the second half of this segment right here. Let's just take care of all these enemies that have been following me as I've been re-exploring this floor. Because, trust me, there's a lot of them and they just follow you across floors. Which is very frustrating. Let's go ahead and just fill this room out because, again, we have lots of floors we have to look through now. As you can see, we have so many drop-off points. And, of course, another flippin' ladder. Oh, come on. Come on, Will. Kill him a little bit faster, will you? Okay, first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to take this ladder and go up. We're going to take the ladders first because they take a little less time and they're less commitment overall. Make sure to double check, make sure you got everything over here. Okay, we're good. Let's move up again. This will take us, essentially, these ladders are essentially taking us over to where we first start the Mountain Volcano dungeon. Vulkano, I know, but I'm annoyed that they decided not to call it Volcano because they're so close to Volcano and it's just, it's unfortunate. Anyways, grab this treasure chest. Thankfully, not a mimic. We're good. However, it is a rare chest as well, giving us the Valkyrie's Gauntlets. Strength and Endurance +5. That, I believe, is going to go straight onto Basilia. Actually, he's already got pretty good strength and endurance. Maybe that'll just go to Stroll. Just in case. Yeah, we'll just give that to Stroll for right now. Or maybe that'll go to Hulkenberg. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Down here, we've got an objective marker. This, I mean, we have to open it, right? Yeah, of course we do. This is Rusty Greatsword. A greatsword with elegant ornamentation. Badly rusted, though. What's the deal with this rusty stick?
No.
I'm pretty sure this is a sword, actually. Hard to tell through all the rust. Is this really the legendary weapon? This hunk of junk? Anything that came from War King's era would be pretty deteriorated, and it certainly looks antique.
I'm sure of it.
The man in front of Grand Shroud Weapon Shop sought to obtain this. Shall we deliver it?
True.
Indeed we should. Will, you will see to that, correct? Yes, yes, I will. Because that's my name, Will. Yeah, I know. Bad joke, bad joke. Now, if you can't tell, look at all the drop-off points in that part of the map we just rediscovered. You can see that they all lead you straight down to that open area with a bunch of enemies. Nothing really nothing super pressing to actually go around and check all of them. It's essentially just there to waste your time. So, we're going to be heading back down over by Plateau, so I'll see you there. Okay, so obviously we have an encounter coming up ahead of here, so we need to prepare ourselves. How are we gonna do that, you ask? Well, I've got something planned. Alright, so let's go and talk about my composition. First things first, we're going to be subbing out Basilio. I know I just said he's gonna be here a lot. I'm gonna subbing him out for Hyzme, as I'm going to be trying to attempt to dodge tank my way through this upcoming encounter. I will say right now that the enemy we're about to go up against uses a lot of almighty and holy light elemented attacks. So don't have any light weaknesses, which is a big reason why I'm benching Basilio here. Another thing I'm going to do is put Yufa back onto the summoner archetype because I want access to the debuffs. Gonna be pretty important here. I also am going to bring in Ninja from Hyzme because I want to be able to steal something from this boss, so we have that as well. In terms of inheritance, we have Knight's Proclamation. That way, if any single target attacks are going to be going off against someone, it'll be going to Hyzme, hopefully dodging. And we also have things like Shadow Dwellers, which will increase the evasion for Hyzme by 5%. We might be able to get even more if we had more archetypes with the same lineage present. You could equip the Dodger Ring as well if you want to on Hyzme. I'm not. I'm going to be equipping the Prowler's Pipe. That way we can have a higher chance of increasing our chance of getting a steal. Because I'd rather deal with any potential extra damage than having to deal with annoying steal rates. Other than that, we're going to keep Juna on as she is, and essentially just build yourself to be able to inflict weaknesses and then capitalize on them. Because as you can probably tell, that's going to be a trend from now on. Anyways, whenever you're done preparing, head inside. Let's do this. Yes, Hyperic's just ahead. You ready? Let's go. You damned pagan monster! Will you pursue me all over the land? Is that really Hyperic? The distorted Magla has him possessed. This is exactly like those monsters who lost all sense of reason to the Magla. There's no means of helping him other than to battle. Heretic! Handmaid of the devil! Do you not see it is our destiny to perish? It is God's divine will! The entire world and all its filled creations belong to the Almighty! As God's messenger, I shall rain judgment down upon you both! I understand the pain you're going through, but that's exactly why I will stop you. Alright, let's do this. We must use Yufa in this party. Again, we are setting up with Hyzme and Juna. Let's put this man out of his misery.
Praise! With my praise, I shall guide the powerless and foolish masses!
You've no faith in your god, nor in any people. Not even in yourself, I believe. No, I know that people are not powerless.
Preach, Yufa! Now, Katharina, come here! Yeah, easy 3,000 damage right off the start. Okay, as always, we are going to try and start this match with a successful steal, question mark? Yeah, Inquisitor's Crozier, there we go. That's the item we want. Mad Sanctor Hyperic focuses on dealing AoE light and almighty damage, which can be a little annoying for sure. The way that we're going to be handling this is by creating weaknesses for the enemy. What we're gonna do first though is Masquerade Charge, which will greatly increase party's physical attack once per battle. We wanna be able to just do a crap ton of damage immediately. Now what we're going to do is we're going to spend our first action lowering his attack. We definitely want that attack lowered as fast as possible.
Okay.
With Will, we are going to use Hero's Cry in order to give us some more turn icons. Now with our good old buddy Hyzme, we are going to utilize Knight's Proclamation. Potentially, we can get a good dodge going. Next, we are going to... I guess we could do Dance Macabre, but I think it's okay. Let's do... I don't think I have actually any... I have Wind... Ah, there we go. Thunderhead Dance. Let's make a one-time weakness to Electric. There we go. Just so we can do some extra damage with Summon Lizardman, deals extreme physical electric damage to one enemy, and will lower their defense. There we go. Pretty decent damage. And then with Will, we are going to do Hero's Proving, increases a caster's attack and defense and hit rate evasion by 3 ranks for 3 turns. The best buff in the entire game. He is now maxed out on his stats. Mage Omniscience is almighty, and we get a dodge. Perfect. The reason why I didn't want the Dodger's Ring on is because it'd be kind of redundant, as he only has 2 turn icons. Next, we're gonna do Knight's Proclamation again. With Juna, we're just gonna pass turn. Yufa, we're going to do Summon Lizardman one more time to lower his defense. And then with Will, we're gonna rush forward and utilize Royal Sword with Juna as our compatriot. Let's do this. Yeah, 6,394 damage. That is a lot of damage. What we're gonna do now is, I mean, we're gonna be dodging. Maybe we can, I don't know, maybe I'll just cast Medi just to be cool.
Thank you.
And then we go to the next turn.
Why has God given me such an ordeal to overcome?
A petty curse.
Okay, that's not great. Mage Hellscape is dark damage. We didn't get our dodge there, which is unfortunate. But that's okay. What we can do is we can Masquerade Charge again. Then we can pass our turn and have Will finish this off. And there we go, another good 6,000 damage. Putting down Hyperic for good.
Satisfactory. I feel stronger. I continue.
Power can be so intoxicating. Sanctor Hyperic.
We couldn't save Hyperic. It made me think that what happened to Hyperic was a result of his own internal anguish. Recall his way of bringing in new devotees, clinging to prayer. Surely it had the potential to drive him to madness.
I too will.
I too had covered my own eyes in the name of faith. But I was able to meet you all and begin walking my own path. Had I resigned myself, I might have ended up like Hyperic.
Because...
Which was all the more reason that I wanted to help him.
Sure.
Such compassion reflects you perfectly, Yuva.
No.
I can already hear Adeni scolding me for being too soft. But there was no recovering that with that Magla. What can I do? What I can do now is help those believers who were left behind. I'm sure they're around here somewhere. Where am I? Ovi? Where? We explained all that had happened to the devotees who had regained their senses.
Right.
Oh my, that's terrifying. But then you two came to rescue us. There was one tragedy we couldn't prevent. Sanctor Hyperic, his prayers must have not been strong enough. Well, actually, I wanted to speak to all of you about that. Probably not the best time. Was that a monster?
Let's hurry.
Oh, I think we should just return to town for now. Yes, but I wonder if we have the strength. I'm so tired. Even standing up is difficult. Sure, we'll figure out something. The devotees collapsed and fell asleep. Let's bring them to the church in Brylehaven while they sleep, and then return to the inn ourselves. Sounds good.
Thank you very much.
We completed our quest and got ourselves some more eloquence.
All right.
Which we don't really need, but I'll take what I can get.
Shall we away?
I still want to speak to them all, but it'll have to wait. Now then, shall we get out of here? Yes, let's return to the entrance. Next time on Metaphor Fantazio, after I go back to the inn and have a nice dinner, thank you, Katharina, by the way, we are going to be turning in all the quests we have here, and then preparing to go head off towards another dungeon. So, with that said, I am going to get a good night's rest. See you soon.
Hey! Okay then. Got it.
See you soon, I hope.